Hello and welcome to Leading Voices by GSF. My name is Antoni, Lacinai, keynote speaker with a passion for communication, motivation and engagement. And today I have with me Ron Tsang. Welcome.
Hi, Antoni. It's a pleasure to be here.
Pleasure to meet you like this. We have met each other as well in the board of GSF. But now we have a chance to talk to each other for a while. Before we go into your association, tell us about you.
Well, I'm a keynote speaker and a trainer, a corporate trainer, and a consultant and an author. And like you, Antoni, I specialize in workplace communication. I also help my clients become more trusted advisors and better business partners, again, through the power of communication and collaboration. And my role in the GSF is as a CAPS representative, and CAPS stands for the Canadian Association of Professional Speakers. And I currently serve on the national board of the Canadian Association of Professional Speakers.
Yeah, I know that the NSA US has been around for the longest, but you've also been around quite a while.
CAPS has been around for over 25 years, and I've been a member of CAPS for approximately 10 years now. And it's such an amazing thing. And being part of the GSF is an incredible opportunity for me as well. I'm fairly new to the GSF, but it's an incredible opportunity for us to share knowledge, best practices, and I'm really enjoying my role so far.
What would you say is the soul and the purpose of CAPS?
You know, CAPS, I would say that the soul and the purpose and the vision of CAPS is to inspire and to empower the professional speakers in Canada, to inspire them with the limitless possibilities of what's possible, and also to help speakers, professional speakers, to learn, share, grow, and belong.
Learn, share, grow, and belong. Are those your mantras?
That's absolutely the mission of CAPS, and those are the cornerstones, the CAPS advantage, and it's the guiding light for everything we do.
Awesome. Tell us about something that you're really proud of when it comes to your association.
You know, I'm really proud of the fact that we are breaking tradition and having our annual convention in Costa Rica this year. This will be the very first time that our annual convention will be outside of Canada. And it is a contentious decision, absolutely, but it was well thought out, and it's an opportunity for all of our members and guests, including yourself, Antoni, to come and to reflect, to have authentic conversations amid sloths and toucans in a beautiful climate, and to learn, share, grow, and belong together in a brand new place for many of us. It's an opportunity for us to again, to revisit our business, to rethink our what we're doing, and to get to the next level. It'll be an amazing retreat.
That's something that I haven't heard before. Putting your convention in another country. Wow.
It's something that we're really looking forward to. And like I said, typically our conventions here in Canada are held in December, and they're typically in very cold, snowy climates. So this is a bold new move, but certainly I've heard from so many of our members how they wished it was in a sunny place. Well, this is the chance.
Well, you know what? I've been to Canada a number of times now. I just love Canada. But December is like in Sweden, very, very cold. So I understand the concept there. Okay, so from an association perspective again, can you tell me about some of the things that you've done that you find is really successful that we can perhaps share with other associations?
Well, I think that as being one of the founding members of the GSF, I think that CAPS has been terrific in sharing best practices and knowledge. I think that we have people who attend different conventions, and we're very open to having people attend our conventions as well. You know, some of the GSF representatives who have attended the CAPS conventions say that our conventions are they should be role models for many of the associations because of how professionally executed they are. And of course, we couldn't do this without our association management company, Bond, headed by Sherry Bricks. So certainly working with Bond has made all the difference. Our most recent,
you're working with Bond, and what do they do for you?
Well, they are our association management company in the same way that they're the association management company for the Global Speakers Federation. And what they do is they help us organize the conference. They help with logistics. They help with shared services for our chapters. What I find is that some associations, many associations, have chapters, and having the chapters run by volunteers can be onerous. It can be really a great deal of work and stress on top of our normal lives and our normal business. And having the help of an association to relieve some of that stress, perhaps manage some administrative services, perhaps bookkeeping or marketing and communications, can make all the difference in the world. Again, whether your association is national driven or you have your chapter driven, having someone to help with some of the administrative services really makes a difference. And having some institutional knowledge helps as well. It helps with onboarding. It helps provide some guidance on past precedents and decisions. So I would say that leveraging shared services, leveraging institutional memory, leveraging an association management company can make things a lot easier for associations.
How many members do you have?
I don't have the numbers off the top of my head, but I believe, because we're going through our renewal campaign, but I believe that last year we had just over 400 members, maybe 450 approximately.
All right, yeah, okay, yeah. But we only have one chapter. We're a small country, and everything is done voluntarily. So I can kind of see the struggle and the efforts we have to put in when we work in a local board and so on as well. All right, so thank you for that. Share with me one thing that you either struggle with or that you find, this is a challenge for us that we haven't really solved yet.
There's two things. One is really trying to identify our target members, I suppose, our prospective members, defining ourselves as professional speakers. This came up in a recent leader-to-leader call, asking whether other associations around, other professional speaking associations around the world have clearly defined professional speaker. Is there a global standard? And what we find is that there's some variations. Getting paid to speak in front of audiences, sure, but what size of audiences, and what kind of audiences, and what about monetizing it? Do you monetize it immediately? What about afterwards? Is it 24 hours after you speak? Does it still consider? So there isn't a global standard, unfortunately, for the definition of professional speaker. We have an idea of what it means, but then we want to make sure that we don't leave out other people. We consider corporate trainers to be professional speakers, as well as facilitators, but maybe not people who MC, or maybe not certain people who teach in a classroom. So we're not all keynote speakers, and certainly we don't want to be seen. We don't want to exclude people who monetize the spoken word or make a living from speaking in other ways. So that's one challenge, universally defining professional speaker, and then attracting new members, prospective guests who may not see themselves as professional speakers because they may not currently rely on keynote speaking as their main business model. And then how do we attract them if they don't see themselves in that way? Maybe they have an online community. Maybe they focus exclusively on webinars, or they're, again, a corporate trainer or a facilitator, for example. So how do we make sure that they feel welcome and included? And what can we do about that? So that's one issue, defining professional speakers, and then making sure that we target the right guests and help members feel included.
That's interesting, because we do have different definitions of it, for sure. I can see that, because in our association, we embrace MCs as well, moderators and speakers. And I remember being in Paris once, and I talked to one of our American colleagues, and she asked me, how much do you speak? And I say, about a third of my time. What do you do the rest of the time? Well, I do moderation work, and I also do a lot of training. That's all speaking, she said to me. Okay, then it's 100%, because for me, it was me on a stage. That was me speaking for a living, so to say. So yeah, there are different ones, and we perhaps we should work on that a little bit more, also from a global perspective, so we can get that same kind of idea.
I think it's a great idea.
What's next on your agenda? What goals do you have for the coming year, for instance?
Well, for CAPS, I know that our national president, Beverly Byron King, is rolling out a new 3-year strategic plan, and collaborating with the national board and chapter representatives and from member representatives. So that's really new and exciting. We're rolling out a new digital strategy with a new website on the front end and lots of electronic goodies in the back end as well to make sure that our members have tremendous electronic resources, lots of learning resources behind the scenes in an electronic vault. And that's going to be really exciting. And the revamping of the website is not just a cosmetic relaunch, but it's not just a cosmetic renovation, but it really is a relaunch and a rebranding of the association for a more modern, even potentially younger demographic. What can we do to make sure that we stay relevant in a changing world? That's the key.
Hey, can I ask you one question about that? When you talk about the younger ones, do you have different levels of memberships? Some associations do, like I'm the upcoming wannabe, I have one level. I'm the very experienced one, I have another one. How do you work?
Years ago, we had a candidate membership as well as professional membership, which I believe was modeled off of the National Speakers Association of the US. We've moved away from the candidate model now, and we have a professional membership and a supplier membership. And then there's a legacy membership for some of the veterans who are retired, and it's an honorary designation. And we have an on-ramp. The on-ramp is our CAPS Speaker Academy. It's an online course with some live-led cohorts for people who are not necessarily members or who are members who want to improve in a certain area or fill in some gaps, bolster their knowledge. So that's not so much of a membership title or a category as it is just, again, a membership community and an online course.
All right, interesting. Yeah, because again, different associations have different styles of this one. We only have one membership in our association. That's it. Either you're in or you're not. Cool. Last question. How do you feel that GSF, Global Speakers Federation, can support your association?
Well, being still a new member to the GSF, I feel that I've really benefited from the leader-to-leader calls. And I know that when our national president, Beverly Byron King, last month asked the leader-to-leader call representatives, all the delegates, how do you define professional speaker? It was an interesting insight. So I think more opportunities for our associations to collaborate, to ask questions, to learn from each other. The kind of questions that you're asking me right now, we continue to ask each other. And it's a great way to share knowledge and communicate among the chapters. What are you struggling with? What are you proud of? What could you use help with? I would say sharing leads and needs, sharing opportunities to help, lessons that can learn that other chapters or other associations can learn from around the world. And then how can we get some help? How can we get some support? It's a little give and take, and it's mutually beneficial. I think that's the best thing that the GSF can provide for us right now.
Leads and needs, best practices and support. Let's wrap it up like that and summarize this conversation like that. Thank you so much, Ron, for being part of this.
My pleasure, Antoni. Thanks for having me.